411 Live.
Where you can learn about issues that impact us every day. State of world, 411 Live.
Real people, real talk.
Made to help people in our community in every way. Boy or girl, 411 Live.
Previously on the 411 Live, Sex in the City, we talked to the Health Commissioner, Bevan Baker from the Milwaukee Health Department about the alarming rates of sexually transmitted diseases in Milwaukee and the high rates of STDs in the African American community. We learned that Milwaukee ranked second in the nation in cases of chlamydia, third in the nation in cases of gonorrhea, and we found out that Milwaukee also has an emerging epicenter in HIV infections among young men who have sex with men. And we learned the various zip codes that are highly infected in the city of Milwaukee. On this episode of the 411 Live, we introduce you to a program known as Plain Talk. You are watching the 411 Live, Sex in the City, Part 2.
As we continue here on the 411 Live, we'll keep it real and have some plain talk. As adults, it's very important for us to be able to communicate with our children, our youth, and young adults about sex. Teenagers today are contracting sexually transmitted diseases at high rates. And here in Milwaukee, it's safe to say that our teens are making up our biggest group of individuals contracting these infections today. So as adults, it's our responsibility to talk to our youth, to talk to our teens and our young adults about the effects of having sex today.
Hey, Ma.
Hey, baby, can you hand me the right side of the cabinet, please?
Sure. You only have 2 weeks before I turn 16, right?
What?
Ma, don't act like that. You and Dad said when I turn 16, I can date.
I know what I told you, but that doesn't mean you're grown, so you better check yourself.
Really? I didn't even say all of that. Did you hear me say that? I don't think I said all of that.
You know what? You better check yourself.
You
Don't
and
walk
Dad-
in here talk about turning 16, because I don't want to hear it, really, for real. With the day that I've had, 16 doesn't make you grown. It's another birthday.
Did I even say all that? I don't even think I heard myself say all of that, because I
You know
really
what?
didn't.
Check it. Hush. 16. So what? You gonna date? You gonna have boys? What? You having sex?
I'm not having sex. Wow, for real, Ma?
Just
Seriously?
because you're turning 16 doesn't mean you're grown. And you don't walk up in here talking about you turning 16, because nothing changes. You're not going out with boys, hanging out, having sex, and you better not come up in here with no baby, because I'm not taking care of one. I'm doing my
Wow,
job.
for real, Ma? You gonna take it to that level?
You know what? Yes, I'm gonna take it to that level, because you better not come in here with a baby. The last thing I want to do is have to take care of another child. So you better just get away from me right now before I put my hands on
I'm
you.
out.
Put my hands
It's
on
over.
you.
I'm out. It's whatever. She get on my nerves. I'll be 16 in 2 weeks and I will go with John. She is so frustrated. Talking about, you can't come home with a baby. I'm not finna come home with a baby, dude. I'm going on my first date. She act like it's a big deal. Just breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Oh my God, she's so irritating. Oh my God, seriously? Really, she should be forcing it. Dear Diary, Mom is forcing it. She acts like I'm a jayer or something. I mean, I've never done anything to make her feel that way. Seriously, seriously.
Hey, girl.
Hey, what's wrong?
Tanae and I just got in the biggest fight.
Really?
I mean, she came home. She was talking about turning 16. I'm having one of those days, and I mean, it just went somewhere that it totally shouldn't have gone.
Are you serious, Tanea?
I mean, you should have heard her. I mean, she was out of her mind. I can't believe the stuff she was saying. But it's so out of character for her. I don't even understand it.
I mean, why do you think she talked to you like that?
This whole 16 thing. I mean, she's talking about dating, and then I started talking about sex, and it went from there. I mean, it really just went from there.
I bet you didn't even have to talk with her yet, did you?
I know I was supposed to have a talk by now, but I didn't do it. And I mean, 16 snuck up on us, and here it is. So now I'm dealing with this teenager that doesn't know anything about sex, and I haven't taken the time to really tell her.
I will be going out with John when I turn 16. Yes, when I turn 16, I will be going out with John. Maybe that Saturday. I don't know. I'll plan something out. But anyways, I mean, he's a senior. Ooh, he's fine. I'll be wearing his class ring, and he be driving me to parties. And the girls be hating. They be saying like, oh, he had sex a bunch of times, and he just want him to give him a good night kiss. Whatever. They be some haters. They just want what I have. Yeah, they just want what I have. I mean, I have all the info already. My girls be giving me the 411, talking about you can't fool around with your underwear off. You can't use Vaseline as a lubricant. I mean, you can't get pregnant by being on top. I mean, what more is there to know? At school, the school nurse, she said, what'd she say? What did she say? Oh my God, I got this. Okay. She be giving out pamphlets about sex. And she said, you know, about birth control. I mean, what more is there to know? And if there's something that I need to know that I don't know, I will get the information. Forget what mom is talking about. She always running her mouth talking about babies and all this. I'm not trying to hear that. You know, it's too much. I can't. It's just breathe. 1 1,000, 2 1,000. I got this. Okay, I'm kind of feeling better. Just breathe. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. I got this. Anyway, this is the beer John gave me. So. Think about John and the bear, and I'll be okay. Okay. So cute.
I don't even know how to tell her, though.
I know exactly what you need. Plain talk.
Plain talk.
Yeah. It's a program that the Milwaukee Health Department started.
Milwaukee Health Department. They do stuff like that?
Girl, yes. I went to one of their parties. Talk about eye-opening. Oh, my God.
But what kind of a party? What kind of party? What kind of party does Milwaukee Health Department get?
It's not a party. They teach you about how to talk to your children about having sex.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you're talking about like a grown-up
No,
party.
it's informative. They teach you about abstinence, healthy relationships.
I don't know. I have to try something because I am really in a bad place right now.
Just go to the Milwaukee Health Department website and search for Plain Talk.
So all I have to do is go on the internet, Milwaukee Health Department, and then click on the site, Plain Talk.
Yes, and they will set you up to go to one of their parties.
And I can go to these parties. Okay. I have to do something because this isn't working. I mean, it's no communication. We fighting.
Just go to the Plain Talk party.
All right. Well, thanks. You always know how to help me, girl.
That's what I'm here for, and don't worry, Tanea will do the right thing.
All right. I know she's a good girl. We raised her right, so it'll be okay, I'm sure.
Yes, everything will be okay.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
No problem.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Milwaukee Plain Talk. I have to do that one. Tanea, we really need to talk about what happened last week. I just saw a side of you that I've never seen before. I mean, the level of disrespect, our lack of communication, it was somewhere I never want to go again. I want you to know that I love you, and I do trust you. I really, despite how I behaved, I really do trust you. It's scary, you know, it's scary to know that you're growing up and you're becoming a young adult and you're going to be faced with all of these new different things that are going on in life. So I do understand that you're turning 16 and your dad and I did say that you can date. But you must understand that with growing up are a lot of responsibilities and there's some accountability for your actions. So what you do from here on out as a young adult is pretty much on you. It's not like you can hold us responsible for your behaviors anymore. With that growing up, there's a lot of responsibility and accountability for that.
What do you mean, Ma?
I mean, it's a difference in the way that you act. There's a difference between just dating, being in a relationship, or deciding to take your relationship like to the next level and decide to have sex. I mean, you may not want to have sex now, but at some point you may want to have sex. And I need to make sure that you're ready for that. And I want you to know that you're ready for that.
Oh my, I know where babies come from. My friends talk about it all the time.
Talking about it, yeah, but what do you know about sex? I mean, really, what do you know?
It's a girl and a boy, you know, have you emotionally tied to them, and they go in a room and do whatever.
Okay, for real.
I mean, you seen it in the movies.
Yeah, but it doesn't always happen like it does in the movies. It's not emotional ties all the time. It's not in the bedroom all the time. It can be in the back of a car, in a yard, field, anywhere nowadays. In a restaurant, in a restroom. So you have to understand that maybe your idea of what's right and wrong in that situation is going to be different than someone else's.
Mom, do you really want to talk about this right now?
Do you? I mean, I need you to be able to. I need you to be able to talk about this whenever it comes up. You can't run away from it. You can't shy away from it. It's a part of growing up, actually. And you want to date. You want to have a boyfriend. So what do you think is going to happen when...
Mom, don't get all serious on me now. I understand.
But I have to get serious with you, Tanea. You have to understand. This is life. This is making one decision can change your life forever. One incident. Forever. Not saying that you still can't become a productive citizen of this great country we live in or anything like that. It's saying that one decision can alter the way that you have to go about living your life forever.
I understand. You want me to be well established before I have a baby.
It's not just having a baby, Tanea. I mean, that's part of it. But you have an opportunity. You and your little sister have an opportunity. Your dad and I work really, really hard so that we can afford you all of the great things in life, so that you don't have to do sort of like I did. Come along and try to raise a baby and go to school and do all of that at the same time. I just want you to know, and your dad wants you to know, that there are a lot of things that you can put ahead of that type of stuff. So you need to make sure that you're making the right decisions. Those decisions are the best for you. Knowing that you're worth the wait, knowing that you can tell somebody no. Think about this. Love of your life. This boy, you just head over heels and, John, yep, sure. Okay.
So you do know his name.
I do know his name, thank you very much. But you decide that you want to have sex with him. Now, he's not going to tell his guys that y'all just messed around for 3 minutes. I mean, come on now. He wants his guys to know that he's the man. He tells you, he tells them, oh, you know, well, man, she gave me head. She let me go raw. I even went anal.
What?
I mean,
see,
yeah,
I would flip, like, for real. I don't even do any of that stuff. Like, I'm not even that type of girl.
See, there you go, though. It isn't about you. He's not going to tell his guys it was only 3 minutes. And if you are going to flip out like that, mentally, maybe you're not ready. Because anybody that tells a story, they're going to tell it from their perspective. So you need to kind of keep that in mind. Those are the kind of things that are outside of the physical part of having sex. So that's what I'm talking about. So what do you want for you, though?
I don't want to have a baby right now. I just want to be able to go on a date with John and we have a nice time. Mom, is that so much to ask for? Really? I mean, I know you're going to be creeping up from a tree looking and trying to search for us, but that's you.
No, I'm not. And I want to trust you. I really do want to trust you, and I need to be able to trust you. So just know that I'm going to do my best. I am going to support you. I'm going to believe that we raised you the right way. And I will get to know this young man. So that's a must. That is a must. But I can't get past the fact that we still need to talk about the sex. I need to make you an appointment. We got to go to the doctor. It's some things you need to know. You may not be ready now, and I'm glad you're not. God knows I'm glad you're not ready.
I'm glad too.
But it will come a point in time when you will be. So to know all that you need to know will just make it better for you, better understanding your body, who you are, and what goes on with it when you decide to have sex. So I'm going to make you an appointment with a clinic. And if I can be of any assistance, I mean, I know it might be the coolest thing to ask me. Okay, you don't have to do all of that, but you can ask whatever questions you want. And I just really want the best for you. Okay? And I love you, sweetie.
I love you too, Mom.
All right, babe. Ooh, now I just have to tell your dad.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, no, tell me about it.
We sat down and had a conversation with Monique Newsom, an instructor from a program called Plain Talk. Exactly what is Plain Talk, Monique?
Well, Plain Talk is an organization that is sponsored by the Milwaukee Health Department. And what they do is they work with adults, young adults, and try to give them the skills and the knowledge that they need to be able to talk to other people, whether it be teens or even adults at this point, in regards to sex, having healthy relationships, knowing what the anatomically correct terminology is for the body parts, knowing that it is a vagina, not a vajayjay, things of that nature. What they're used for. Why do teenagers have these certain kind of hormones when they get 13, 14, things of that nature? So it addresses 4 phases of the program. It's anatomy and physiology. It is birth control methods. It is reviewing and understanding the STIs, AIDS, HIV. And the most important part of it is communication, because without communication, none of the knowledge can be shared. No one will listen. So it's about teaching effective communication skills.
I find it interesting that the city of Milwaukee, the health department, has adopted such a program. What was going on in the city? Was there any rationale behind the city's decision to develop a program such as Plain Talk?
Well, I believe what it is that Milwaukee has always had one of the highest rates of teen pregnancy. So in trying to combat that, the program was initiated here. Like I said, it is a national program. So bringing it to Milwaukee only made sense. So I do applaud the Milwaukee Health Department for that. And then the program was moved into the inner city where it had the highest rate of teen pregnancy. And so initially it was localized for your zip codes 53210 and 53208. And since then it has spread out citywide. So the program is in all zip codes, in all areas. So you could be part of the program and be a participant and get all of the same knowledge and information that everyone else has gotten in the past.
While doing a little research on Plain Talk, I noticed that the Midtown area was noted on your website. What's going on in the Midtown area, and do you do some special outreach in the Midtown area?
Well, the Midtown area is a big focus of ours now. And you look at the concentration of people, the population there with the amount of teens, things of that nature. So you want to hit where there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that will be affected by the program. You're partnering with a lot of the businesses. Midtown is a booming business now. Where it used to be Capitol Court is Midtown. You have a lot of the outlets there. You have a lot of activity going on. So partnering with those businesses and getting in there and getting the name spread and the information that we have available is extremely important. It's a hub. It's a hub for everyone moving around in the city.
By the way, what's your role with Plain Talk? What do you do for the organization?
Right now, I'm a volunteer. I have been a volunteer for years, and I've gone through an extensive amount of training. So to the sum of some 20 hours or so of training, and I facilitate groups. So what that does is with those 4 areas, the anatomy and physiology, the STDs, the birth control, and the effective communication, I would come into someone's home or into a group wherever we would decide that a party per se will take place, and I would facilitate a group with those different topics. So helping the adults through this different type of situation where they can talk to children and talk to their teens and talk to other adults about what they would want for their teens.
You know, one thing that can be very frustrating is when you think about the Black community, and you mentioned that the high rates in the Black community, when you think about a lot of health ailments in our community, it's pretty high. Let's talk about some of the success rates. Have you seen much success as it relates to Plain Talk being effective in reaching out to the young people in our communities?
Well, I can say personally, the first time I'd ever gone to a Plain Talk party, one of the first things I did is like, wow, this is great. You know, I want to make sure my kids are trained. I want to make sure they know what I want for them. I learned how to communicate with them. The first thing I did is I called my son. Would you talk to me about sex? He says, no, Ma, tell my sister what you want me to know, and I'll talk to her. So that was my cue to get her into the Plain Talk program and get her trained. And so that's what I did. And I can honestly say they don't have children. I was a teen mom. My sister's teen moms. So having that knowledge and knowing what to do and knowing what your parents want for you or your loved ones want for you, I think that adds that extra foundation for, I can wait.
Right.
I know how to protect myself. I know what it is I'm supposed to do. And that's what the program is about. Giving you the option to make the decisions, knowing what your parents and what your loved ones want. But in the event that you decide that it's something that you want to do, you know how to protect yourself.
An interesting thing is sex is everywhere. And I mentioned it earlier on in the series. You know, it's in commercial ads, it's on the television, it's in movies, it's on the radio. And we do a lot of talking about sex.
Definitely.
We do a lot of talking about the pleasurable side of sex, what we like and what we don't like, what feels good and what not. But the flip side of that is the health ramifications as it relates to sex and our history and our partners and getting tested and things of that nature. Why do you think that one aspect of having sex is easy to talk about, but the other side of having sex is not so easy to talk about, or sometimes it goes without being talked about at all?
Well, I think what ends up happening is just about with anything. If it's negative, you stay away from it. And so if people are wanting you to do something that they want you to do, they're going to tell you the best parts of it. They're not going to say, oh, I had sex with 12 people in the last 5 months, and so when I have sex with the 12, multiply that by X number of times, and this is how many people that we've had sex with together if you have sex with me. They're not going to do that. They're going to say, I like you, I want to be with you, I think you're hot, whatever they say, and they're going to make you feel the best about the relationship or what they may try to engage you in.
You know, I bring up that point because when you think about us as adults or parents talking to their children, if we as adults have a hard time communicating with our partners or spouses or whomever we are sexually active with, as it relates to talking with our children about having sex, I'm sure that can be pretty difficult for many parents.
It's always been taboo because sex has always been so private. So you have generational gaps where sex before was you don't say anything about it. It's just something that's supposed to happen between a husband and a wife, and it stays in the bedroom. Now it does not. And so the people, that generation where it was in the bedroom, they're dealing with everywhere you go, sex is there. So how do you bridge the gap? And you really have to bridge the gap with communication, honest communication.
Yeah.
Not to just say, oh, keep your skirt down, you'll get pregnant. Or if you rub the wrong way, you'll get pregnant. You have to have that hard talk to say, yes, it may feel good. You're going to feel warm. Your body is going to feel tantalized by the hormones that are going on. But one act of sex can cause you all kind of ramifications in life, whether it be having a child early on or whether it be contracting an STD or STI. So
one of the things that you brought back to my memory is we used to talk about, or I'm not a parent myself, but parents would have the talk. And you talk about the birds and the bees and then maybe gear up for one conversation and maybe give your child a book or something. As it relates to 2012 is a lot different than the 70s, 80s, even in the
definitely.
90s, even in just 2000. How has this conversation that parents need to have with their children changed over the years, as opposed to having the talk and the birds and the bees?
Well, the birds and the bees are no longer, they don't exist.
Where did they go?
Oh my gosh, they have just gone, I mean, really. And the thing about it is that I think the main difference between back then and now is that you have to start the talk, or what people would consider the talk, very earlier on. Of course, make it age appropriate, but children need to know their bodies. They need to know their body parts. They need to know how to address them, what their names are. They need to know their main functions of them.
I'm sure that it can be even difficult to say the real name.
Yes.
Yeah.
People say, when you say penis, they think it's a bad word. When you say vagina, they think it's a bad word. So they use colorful words for it. And that in itself is not giving a kid knowledge. You call a car, or an automobile. Call a penis a penis.
So what age?
That's what it is.
At what age does all this need to start happening? What would you recommend for the age range of the children, for parents to start talking sex with their children?
Well, it's not so much as talking sex. It is about body awareness to begin with. So if you send your child to daycare, they're old enough to speak. They know that they have a vagina. They use the a young lady, a little girl will use the bathroom, and she has to wipe her vagina. So that's what you start to do. That's a starting point. And then, of course, it moves a little further on to your vagina is your private area, and that would then cause the next conversation about the body. And then from there, you would move on. And eventually, it will get to relationship type stuff, where you may get to a boy likes a girl and a girl likes a boy, but it is an ongoing conversation, not something to just start and stop, or just to start having when a kid is 11 or 12.
I know I have so much to ask you, but I know we don't have a whole lot of time here today. Can you give us some tips for parents that want to have these type of conversations? Maybe they're single fathers talking to their daughters, or maybe it's a nuclear family and they just don't know how to reach out to their child in that way, because they're thinking that we shouldn't have these grown folks type of conversations at this point in time in your life, because you should be worried about school,
right,
and grades and your tests in class. So what kind of advice could you offer to parents so that they become what you call askable parents?
Yes.
And parents that can really communicate, where their child feels open enough that they can go and engage in some real adult type conversations?
One of the first things to do is not try to scare the child to death. You cannot scare them into not having sex. Scare tactics don't work. One of the things you do want to do is just be open and honest, and try very, very hard at all points to not be judgmental. That's one of the things that keeps young people from talking to their parents or an elder, is that fear of being judged. So if a kid can come and speak with you and know that they're going to be taken seriously, that they're not going to be looked at as a bad child, or that they want to have sex just because they're asking a question, they will be more apt to go ahead and have the conversation.
I wish I had more time with you today. My list was so much longer than what I had time for. So Monique Newsome with Plain Talk, how can one get in contact with you?
Well, what you can do is go on the City of Milwaukee Health Department website. There is a link to Plain Talk. The director of the program is Denise Crumble, very lovely lady, and she helps schedule and set up different parties. And if people want to have a group of other adults at their home and they want to go through a party, and we'll be more than willing to come out and have a party. And
a party, huh?
Yes,
okay.
That's what we call it.
Okay.
It's a party. It is truly a party. And when you leave, you'll understand that it is a party, but it's such more. You've developed relationships. You've learned about all of the things that are going on, and you should learn a little bit about communication. And the key is a lot about communication.
Monique, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'll shake your hand. I thank you. I appreciate this.
And now, here's your food for thought.
It's important that you know the facts and are aware of the stats. And if you're anything like me, you've learned a lot of valuable information here today. Information about STDs, information that we just don't talk about. many of us may not even know about. We've learned the importance of being able to better communicate with our youth and young adults about the effects of having sex today. Our teenagers are contracting STDs at alarming rates, and so are we in the African American community. So we must make sure that we become more informed and more aware. So the next time you think about engaging in sexual activities, make sure you protect yourself. It's only for your own health and well-being. Also, make sure you ask those tough questions. And if you think you're not ready to answer or ask those tough questions, maybe you should think twice about engaging in sexual activities. I thank you for watching. I'm your host, TJ. This is Sex in the City on the 411 Live.
We would like to hear from you. Email us topics or issues you would like to discuss at info@the411live.org. Follow us on Twitter. Watch us on YouTube. Like us on Facebook. Watch us on Ustream.com or log on to our website at the411live.org.